You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends, the Goldbergs, are here. Yes, it's the Does program. Does, you know, is the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. Now let's see what's doing at the Dozens. You know, I heard in a roundabout way that Ma Dozen and that flutterhead cousin Dozen were sort of cooking up a plot against me. Uh-oh, there they are now out in the backyard. Let's listen.
You know, Ma, I'm broken-hearted.
Why?
That dear Does announcer who comes here never pays any attention to me.
Nonsense, Cousin Dozen. Just ask him if Does really is a new kind of soap.
Yes?
Then he'll pay attention. He'll say, you bet Does is new, and it does everything in the wash.
Will he? To me?
Sure, he'd talk to anyone all evening about how Does does everything. From heavy work clothes, towels, to rayon house dresses.
How I'd love to scrub his work shirts.
Goodness, don't mention scrubbing to Clayton. Why, Does gets the grimiest overalls wonderfully clean without any hard scrubbing. You don't even need a bar soap anymore. Does the job all by itself.
I'll say, dear Mr. Collier, my hope chest is full of towels.
That won't get him, dear. He'll just say Does gets towels and linen's dazzling white. And he's right. No soap I ever use gives me whiter washes.
Wonder what dress I should wear.
That one looks nice, Cousin. And you can tell Clayton you've doesed it a dozen times and it's still bright and pretty. You know, he's always saying, Does gives longer life to the nice colors you wash.
Oh, if only he cared for me as much as he does.
Well, remember, dear, only does everything.
Well, Ma's certainly right about Does. Why, compared to other leading wash day soaps, Does gives longer life for colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness for towels, and real cleaning power for the dirtiest work shirts. Does does everything in your wash. Tried it yet? And now the Goldbergs. Well, Molly's new daughter-in-law has swept the Goldbergs right off their feet. Sammy's wife is all the things that Molly ever dreamed of. And Molly and Jake keep singing her praises. Only Rosie Goldberg is still suspicious of Grace. You see, it was a letter from Grace that announced that she had been married to Sammy just before he was sent abroad. Now Grace is in Lastenbury on a visit. But on the next farm is a new farmhand named George, and George comes from Grace's town. Most peculiar of all, we know that he met Grace on the train and rode with her for a few stations. George warned her to be careful, that he had almost given away the fact that he and she knew each other. Then we saw him get off the stop before Lastenbury so he wouldn't be seen by the Goldbergs. Now Rosie heard from a neighbor that George was on the train. But that's all. And she's wondering. Listen.
Hey, Rosalie, is that a girl? Is that a child?
Oh, Uncle David,
All right, beautiful is beautiful, but smart. Not only smart, but so smart. Smart and beautiful and charming. This is something. I'm talking to Rosalie.
Oh. What are you talking, David?
I'm talking about your daughter-in-law.
Ma, you have flour all over you.
Flour have all over me. Oh, mine from my biscuits. Wait, help me wipe it off, Rosalie. Wipe it off.
Yeah.
As soon as I'll take out the biscuits, we'll sit on the table and we'll eat here, dear. But what were you talking, David?
All right, a girl is beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful is only beautiful. But my Grace. Say it yourself, Dave.
I'm saying smart.
Oh, and how she sings. And how she plays the piano, David. See, Rosalie? See, Mama, didn't I always say practice? Mama gave you lessons. But did you practice?
So why didn't you practice, Rosalie?
Huh? We eat, Molly, darling. Our daughter is hungry.
Oh, I can wait. In 2 seconds, dear. In 2 seconds of a lamb's release. In 2 seconds. I'll call you to sit on the table. Excuse me. Fix nicely, Rosalie. The knife can be straight. It don't have to be crooked.
All right, Ma.
And if I told you to practice, you've only played do, re, mi, and 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 5.
Uncle David.
Don't worry, Rosalie.
I'm not only...
But you're still thinking of the 2 letters.
Shh, I don't want Mama to hear it.
She wouldn't hear.
Uncle David, Jenny was on the same train that Grace was on. And Jenny said that George was also on that train.
So what? The railroad company can't make a living with only 2 passengers.
Well, why did he get on the train at Hubbell's Corners and get off the train the station before
Well,
Lastenbury?
he had business, I
And why
suppose.
did he say that Grace won't like it?
Like what?
Masha brought some blintzes in today, and George was here, and he said, and it sounded like a slip to me, he said that Grace won't like blintzes.
He said that?
Yes, Uncle David, and that's why
He said that, huh?
Uh-huh.
How does he know if she likes what she likes or she don't like?
Maybe I'm wrong, Uncle David, but all these little things seem to add up.
He said she don't like blintzes, huh?
Yes, Uncle David,
Well,
and
all right. When it comes to the blintzes, we'll see. If she don't eat them, then we'll know something is with something. If she does eat them, then everything is a coincidence. The letters is a coincidence, and the train is a coincidence, and the blintzes is a coincidence.
all right, Uncle David, but not one word to my mother or father.
How can I say when there's nothing to say?
I can't reach the big closet.
I'm coming, Ma. And we'll watch, huh, Uncle David?
Sure. Yes?
The barn door is banging open and shut.
I'll close it.
Please, dear darling. Yes?
I'm going.
We have to call somebody in to fix the door. If not, I got to fix it myself.
That's all right, Mother. I'm going to the barn
All right,
to fix
I'm
it.
living here.
Yeah.
It's not
Moving down.
David, to fix the barn door.
Mother, is there something I can do to help?
No, Grace, darling. We'll eat in a moment. Only see, sweetheart, if the napkins is laying nicely on the table.
I'll
yeah?
see. Oh, yes, and they're pretty ones, too.
Darling, sweetheart, I want it to be a beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous supper. I'm only warming the blintzes.
Sit down, Grace.
Thank you. What are you doing?
Talking to Grace.
Oh, I'm so happy.
So are we, Grace.
You do like me.
Very much. But I have to make a little confession to you, Grace. All right?
Of course.
When your letter came, another letter also came. I'm not supposed to be telling you this.
What other letter?
From George,
Well, who's George?
the new farmhand that works for Masha across the road.
Oh, at the farm we stopped at?
Yes, your letter and his letter came the same day and the same postmark.
Well, no wonder you were...
We didn't think anything, Grace. Only this morning, Masha brought over some blintzes. This was while we were getting ready to come to the station for you. And Masha brought the blintzes, and George said she wouldn't like them.
Well, how would he know?
I'm just telling you, Grace, just to straighten my conscience.
You're ready to sit, everybody. You're ready to sit. Rosie, hold it, don't break it. It's my best dish. I don't like to break my best dishes, Grace.
I'll be right down, Molly.
All right, dear.
I'll get my sweater. It's a little chilly.
You're chilly, Grace, dear. Oh, I mind the changing.
darling.
You put something on the changing of the climate. Don't go upstairs, darling. I have something in the hall. You
Oh,
put
all
it over
right.
your
All
shoulder.
right,
Come in, dear. Rosalie, darling, call Uncle David. Tell him to come ready to sit on the table.
All right.
Yes, dear, come.
Uncle David!
Coming.
We're ready to eat!
Coming. Lay down, Sporty. Lay down.
Dad, Sporty. Go on. Stay down.
Uncle David, don't forget now. Watch the blintzes.
All right,
And
Rosie.
sit near me.
Yes.
And we'll watch the blintzes, Uncle
Little
David.
watch.
We are hungry, Molly.
All right. Grace, darling, come. Come. Sit on the table. You feel a little more comfortable now?
Yes, because you're not used to the climate here, darling. Here, Grace, darling, take chairs, move around, everybody. David, dear. Rosalie,
Yes.
well, please.
Yes,
Grace, dear, you sit in my family seat.
Thank you.
You're filling his place in our hearts also, Grace.
Don't make me cry, please.
Sit, Rosalie. David.
Can I sit here, Molly? In the spring, I like to face the window. The tree in the window, I love to watch.
It helps your digestion, David.
No, in spring, a young man's fancy.
Bring a young man. So, everybody, well, eat. No, please, start on yourself, everybody. Rosalie, What's the matter? No borscht?
No, Mom. I'm saving myself for the blintzes.
Me too.
I'm eating borscht, if you don't mind.
So am I.
Why not? Eat, everybody eat. After supper, Grace, darling, some of my neighbors, if you wouldn't be too tired, want to come over to meet you.
Why, I want to meet them.
Eat, dear.
Oh, Mrs. Good.
Where you going, Molly?
I'll just bring out the blintzes in the
You
meantime.
want me to help you, Mom?
No, darling, sit there. Grace, these are not mine blintzes. Masha made them.
You like blintzes, Grace?
Masha makes them different from me.
Did you ever eat
Masha takes raisins, and she puts raisins in the cheese.
Grace,
And then she puts in a little cinnamon.
Grace,
And
do you-
I don't like cinnamon in borscht. I don't know. I always put in eggs. I take sometimes
do you
3
like
eggs. I take sometimes 4, depending if you got 4 people, if you got 5 people. If you got 5 people, you count 1 egg to a person.
But
And then
Grace,
that's how I liked it better, with eggs, not with cinnamon, not with raisins.
But Grace,
But everybody makes the blintzes their own way, darling. you see.
Blintzes are blintzes, Mother, and if you like them anyway.
Do
you like
blintzes?
I love them.
Well, this may kill Rosie's suspicions, but it won't kill the facts. And we know that George and Grace do know each other and have a great deal in common, including some common plan. But the girl has beauty and charm enough to sweep all the coincidences into the dust. Molly and Jake have love enough to accept anything. Just what is Grace up to? Why did she marry Sammy and come to Lastenbury? You know, more and more of you listeners tell me Molly Goldberg seems like an old friend of yours. You've been saying some mighty nice things about the Dozen family, too. Yes, you say you got a lot of fun out of listening to that flutterhead Cousin Dozen. Well, I do, too. Take yesterday. Cousin Dozen said...
Look, I bought a new hat, and I owe it all to Duz.
To Duz?
Mm-hmm. I went to the store to get some Duz, and I saw this perfectly adorable hat in the shop next door, and I bought it. You see? Duz really does everything.
Yeah, well, Duz sure does everything in the wash. Why, this new kind of soap gets dirty work clothes clean, streaky towels dazzling white. Yet Duz is wonderfully safe for pretty rayon undies. Honestly, friends, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Duz gives longer life to colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness and real cleaning power for the grimiest work shirts. So you see, Cousin Dozen was pretty nearly right. Duz really does everything. Well, that is, in your wash. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs. This is Clayton Collier speaking for Procter & Gamble and saying, do as the Dozens do. Let Duz, the new kind of soap, do everything in your wash.